Assalamu alaikum, dear DPED trainee teacher. Welcome to our online course, Ghore Boshe DPED Anushilan program. I'm Mahbubur Rahman, Assistant Specialist, National Academy for Primary Education. For this baseline survey, we have three parts. Today, we'll talk about the first part of baseline survey. So today, we will discuss what is baseline survey, what is the purpose of it, why, who will do, when do you start, who will be the participants, how many students will attend, how many students will participate in a day, specific location for the baseline interview, if the target students remain absent, what will you do, how many days will the training teacher get, which classes and subjects do you need to do baseline survey, class teacher activity, a role of PTA instructor, role of head teacher of DPED practice school. So let's start. What is baseline survey? Baseline survey means to determine the competency level among the students of the class so as to be able to set up a strategy to take an effective class. That means to identify the competency level of the students, the main fact of baseline survey. So we can say baseline survey is to know students' competency level for running teaching learning process in the classroom and for using effective techniques and strategies in the lesson plan to achieve learning outcomes. So that means we have to identify the competency level of the students for running effective teaching learning process and achieving learning outcomes in the classroom. Or we can say baseline survey is for identifying students' learning level and for using effective teaching techniques and strategy for each type of students to achieve learning outcomes for each lesson. That means whenever we deliver our class lecture, we have to ensure that every student must have achieved learning outcomes, whether the student is weak or advanced or average student or medium student. This is the fact. We have to identify different types of students through baseline survey. What is the purpose of baseline survey? Basically, the main purpose is to ensure every student's effective learning and to make a plan for each student's continuous development in learning. These are the basic purpose. Why do you do the baseline survey? Because to know students' learning level, to change or set up teaching techniques or strategies, to make plan for every student, to ensure effective teaching learning process, to increase enrollments, to reduce disparities among the students, to give feedback, to identify the problem for action research, also to identify the problem for lesson study, basically mathematics and science, to know students' progress level, to ensure learning outcomes. Who will do baseline survey? DPED trainee teacher will do baseline survey. When do you start your baseline survey? Generally in the beginning of the year. In the DPED program, in the first term of school placement of DPED work plan. Remember, if you miss in the first term, you can do in the second term. If you miss in the first and second term, you can do in the third term. Who will be the participants of this baseline survey? In DPED course, students of class 1 to class 4, each student individually. Remember, each student individually. That means 1-to-1 approach. Each class individually. How many students will participate? Students of class 1 to class 4, all students of each class. No student will remain outside the survey. How many students attend each day? All students of each class. Remember, not more than 10 to 15 students for each class each day. That means every day you have to take interview not more than 10 or 15 students. Do you need a specific location for taking baseline interview for the students? The answer is yes. DPED trainee teacher will manage convenient place outside or in front of the classroom. Remember, if we take the interview in the back bench or in the back side of the classroom, then the normal class flow will hamper. So we will better do it in front of the classroom. What will you do if the target students remain absent? If any student remain absent, his or her interview will be later when he will be present. How many days for the DPED trainee teacher will have to do baseline survey? So in DPED, the trainee teacher will get not more than 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days for doing these baseline survey. Which classes and subjects? In DPED, normally we do baseline survey from class 1 to class 4. Each class individually. And subject Bangla, English, Mathematics, Science, Bangladesh and Global Studies. Basically, we do these 5 subjects. Class teacher activities of DPED practice school. In DPED practice school, class teacher or subject teacher will assist the trainee teacher. Class teacher or subject teacher will continue his or her class while trainee conducts baseline interview. So, normal class will go on by the class teacher or subject teacher. What is the role of head teacher in DPED practice school? Head teacher will coordinate with the DPED PTA instructor, class teacher and subject teacher to assist the trainee teacher. He will assist logistics support, that is, for example, high benches, low benches, chair, if the trainees need. Even he also supports all types of needs of the trainee teacher in time of practice school when they will be. Role of PTA instructor. So PTA instructor will follow DPED work plan, provide guideline to the trainees for baseline survey, assist trainees to make plan, assist to make baseline tool, assist to make baseline format and result, visit practice school, observe and give feedback to the trainees, and lastly, he will receive the file, check the baseline survey file, sign it and give back to the trainee again. So in the first part, we discuss some questions which is very essential for our trainees. Thank you all for listening to me. For getting more videos, visit NAP website, NAP YouTube channel and NAP Facebook page. Here is the link. So we will get more videos on baseline survey in part 2 and part 3. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.